before we get started here.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Hello, Jim.
Morning. Sunshine day.
Yes.
It may not be 1,007 degrees after all, right?
Right.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Jim.
Morning. Deputy Mayor, we are now recording and live on YouTube, so you can begin the meeting whenever you're ready.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Before I begin, or we begin, I'd like to remind you that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the Township YouTube channel. We'll be holding the meeting as though we're in council chambers. We'll follow all the regular policies and procedures in the procedural bylaw. Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak on a matter, and I'll call on you. When I call for the vote, I'll call for all those in favor, followed by all those opposed. And you'll be asked to physically raise your hand to vote in the manner you wish to vote. I'd now like to call the roll. Please raise your hand and state your presence when I call your name. Committee member Jim Patterson.
Present.
Welcome, Jim. Committee member Jim Mullahan.
Here,
Okay, welcome, Jim. Committee member Wendy Dunford.
Present.
Okay, and committee member Rod Manley. I don't think Rod is here yet. Perhaps he'll be along. Staff members, acting clerk, planning coordinator Martina Chase Hardwick, legislative assistant Anu Mandehar, student Tanya Jackson. So thank you, everyone, for attending, and myself, Carl Moore, deputy mayor and chair of this committee. Okay, any disclosure of pecuniary interest on any of the matters in front of us today? Okay, seeing none. First item is approval of the minutes for a past meeting, May 27th. If I could have a motion from somebody, Wendy, it moves that, seconded by Jim Patterson. And then any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Thank you. Okay, the next item is the severance application for B4422 for Loeb. Wendy, or pardon me, Martina, can you take us through this, the highlights of this, please?
So this is application B4422 for Loeb. The owner's name is Roy Loeb and his agent is David Loeb. The location of the property is 267 Six Line Road, Dummer. It's lot 4, concession 5. And the purpose for this application is to create one residential lot. The official plan designation on the severed lot is rural, and the retained is rural and provincially significant wetland. As the committee probably is very well aware, residential uses are permitted in the rural designation, provided fragmentation of farmlands and conflict with adjacent farm operations are not created. A maximum of 2 consents to create new lots may be permitted from a property within the rural designation. And this property has existed for 25 years, and it is eligible for 2 severances as none have been created during that time. The zoning on the lot to be severed is rural. A rezoning will be required. And the retained lot is rural environmental conservation zone, and a rezoning is not required. The severed lot will meet the area and frontage requirements for residential use in the rural zone. The results of the natural heritage evaluation show the buffer of the wetland will need to be rezoned to environmental conservation zone as per figure 4 in the study. The retained lot meets the area and frontage requirements of the agricultural use in the rural zone. So the application appears to be in conformity with the provincial policy statement. The proposed lot is located within 120 meters of a mapped key hydrological feature. And as stated, a natural heritage evaluation was completed and reviewed by ORCA. In order to ensure compliance with the provincial policy statement and the growth plan, staff are recommending that a mitigation measures agreement be entered into based on the recommendations found in section 7 of the Natural Heritage Report. The manager of Public Works did attend this site. He feels that a safe entrance is possible off Dummer 6th line, but it will require a culvert and a 3-meter strip of frontage to be given to the township. I also just wanted to bring it light to the committee. There were a few errors in the application. It's for this property to be severed is for a 0.4 hectare, 1 acre residential lot. The retained lot is an active farm and it's approximately 40 hectares once the new lot is created. So I know that wasn't very clear from the application, so we did get some clarity from the County of Peterborough and the applicant on those details. Staff are recommending to the committee that you recommend to council that severance application B4422 for Roy Law be approved. And if approved by the Peterborough County Land Division Committee, that the following conditions be imposed. A $1,250 cash and low parkland fee be paid to the municipality. That a 3-meter strip of frontage from the severed parcel be deeded to the township for road winding purposes. That a safe entrance be approved by the manager of Public Works. That the vegetative protective zone shown on figure 4 of the natural heritage evaluation prepared by Cambium dated August 5th, 2021 be rezoned to environmental conservation in the zoning bylaw. And that a mitigation measures agreement be entered into between the owner and the municipality and registered on title at the owner's expense, which would recognize the recommendations in section 7 of the natural heritage evaluation. I'm happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
Any questions or comments from members? I had one, and I think I know the answer to this. On one of the drawings of the documents that we received, showed the lot within the MDS arc. And on visiting the site, I see the ancient barn that's located on the site is no longer used as a barn. So I'm sure that's the reason for that to be disqualify the MDS arc for the
Yes, so the applicant had worked with the county after the PSR was created to ensure that that arc could be removed, as that barn is no longer able to house any livestock or really very many implements at this time. So if a new barn was to be created, it would have to respect the MDS distances that this new lot would create. So.
And the second question, and I should have sent this to you in advance, there's an airstrip nearby there, across the road. Are there anything on title at all to restrict or, of course, it's managed by Transport Canada, which is a federal agency. Is there anything at all on that or that come to light?
The short answer is no. These types of small airstrips, they are regulated by Transport Canada. And there's very little language in our zoning bylaw to enforce them because they are so rare. And the types of planes that they fly are very small and don't have very high elevations that they reach. So we're not, as staff, we're not concerned between any possible land conflict. The person who buys the lot would be aware there's a land strip when they visited the site. So.
Okay, thank you. Are we ready for a motion? Go ahead, Jim Patterson. I think you're muted, Jim.
Yep, doing that. Okay. Yes, I move that the committee recommend to council as Martina outlined. And I want to note, I'm especially pleased to see the great conditions surrounding and concerns surrounding wetlands. And that's an important thing. That's not part of my motion. That's just my editorial for the moment.
Okay. And the seconder for that motion? Jim Mullahan. Okay, any questions or comments further? All in favor? Okay, thank you. It's carried. Okay, thank you very much. That will be recommended to council at a near future meeting. The next application is for Herchabees, and I see Ron Herchabees is on the line. Welcome, Ron. So I'm going to ask Martina to take through the highlights here, and Ron, if you have any further comments you'd like to make after Martina's summary, I will call on you to come forward.
Very good. Sorry, committee members, you may have just heard my cell phone ring. I forgot to mute it this morning, so apologies for any noise in the background. So this is files B5422 and B5522. The property is located at 379 8th Line Road, South Dummer. It's Lot 6, Concession 8 in the Dummer Ward. The purpose of the application is to create 2 residential lots. The official plan designation on severed Lot A and B and the retained is rural. As stated in the previous application, residential uses are permitted in the rural designation, provided fragmentation of farmlands and that no conflict is created. This property has been in existence for 25 years and there's been no severances in the past 25 years, so it is eligible for 2 lots to be created. The zoning on both the severed A and B and the retained is rural and no rezonings are required for any of the lots. The severed lots meet the area and frontage requirements of a residential use in the rural zone, and the retained lot will meet the area and frontage requirements of a hobby farm or residential use in the rural zone. The applications are in conformity with the provincial policy statement and the growth plan. The proposed lots are located within 120 meters of key hydrological features. A natural heritage evaluation was completed by Cambium, and it was submitted to the Autonomy Region Conservation Authority, and they have submitted comments which were dated June 6th. As the the Vegetative Protective Zone of the wetlands does not directly touch the lots to be severed, a rezoning is not required. A mitigation measures agreement will be required to be registered on title, so the future owners are aware of the requirements that were outlined in section 7 of the study. Our manager of public works visited the site and he felt that safe entrances were possible for both lots. But again, a culvert and a 3-meter strip of land to the township are all required. The staff is recommending to the committee that you recommend to council that severance applications B5422 and B5522 for Ron and Julie Hootbris be approved, and if approved by the Peterborough County Land Division, that the following conditions be imposed. A $1,250 cash and low parkland fee be paid to the municipality for each lot. That a 3-meter strip of frontage from the severed parcels be deeded to the township for road widening purposes. That safe entrances be approved by the manager of public works. And that a mitigation measures agreement be entered into between the owner and the municipality and registered on title at the owner's expense, which would recognize the recommendations in section 7 of the natural heritage evaluation that had been prepared by Cambium.
Thank you, Martina. Mr. Herchavis, have you any comments or further you'd like to add to before I ask our committee if there's any questions?
No, Martina explained it really well, and so I have no further comment to add.
Okay, committee, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, are we ready for a motion? I think Jim Mulham, I think you're muted. If that.
Oh, Deputy Mayor, I think Wendy had waved her hand.
Oh,
But
sorry.
I'm not sure if you were able to see that. So
That's just,
Oh, I missed it. Go ahead,
That's
Wendy.
If Jim wants to go ahead, it's okay. I didn't see him.
No.
I was just going to move that we recommend to council the recommendation in our package that this severance B5422 and B5522 be approved and forwarded to the Peterborough County Land Division Committee with the conditions listed.
Thank you. And seconded by Jim Mulham. Okay, any further comments or questions? All in favor? It is carried. Anyone opposed? So, Ron, this gets recommended to council, and we're one of the input agencies of many agencies that provide input to the county land division who make the final decision. But everything seems to be going good so far, so best of luck.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm okay to leave now?
Yep.
Okay.
No problem.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, next application is for Carol Story and James Fleming. Martina, can you take us through that, please?
Absolutely. So this is applications B6122 and B6222. Carol Story and James Fleming are the owners. The property is located at 760 Cooney Island Road. And the purpose of the application is the creation of 2 residential lots. One lot will front on Douro 4th line, which is B6122, and the other lot will be on Cooney Island Road, B6222. The official plan designation on the severed lots and the retained is rural, and as with the other applications, residential uses are permitted. The lot has existed for 25 years prior to this application, and there have been no severances within that 25-year period, so it is eligible for 2 possible severances. The zoning on both the retained and the 2 severed lots is rural, and no rezonings are required. The severed lots will both meet the area and frontage requirements of the residential use in the rural zone, and the retained lot will meet the area and frontage requirements of the agricultural use in the rural zone. The applications are both in conformity with the provincial policy statement and the growth plan. The proposed lots are located within 120 meters of key hydrological features. A natural heritage evaluation was completed by Oak Ridge Environmental dated April 7th, 2022. It was submitted along with the applications and reviewed by the Otonabee Region Conservation Authority. Their letter is dated June 8th. On this property, the manager of public works visited both potential sites and says that both have a possibility of safe entrance, but in both locations, a culvert and a 3-meter strip, road widening strip will be required. It is being recommended by staff to this committee that it be recommended to council that both severance applications B6122 and B6222 for Carol Story and James Fleming be approved, and if approved by the Peterborough County Land Division Committee, that the following conditions be imposed. A $1,250 cash and lower parkland fee be paid to the municipality for each lot, that a 3-meter strip of frontage from the severed parcels be deeded to the township for road widening purposes, that safe entrances be approved by the manager of public works, and that a mitigation measures agreement be entered into between the owner and the municipality and registered on title at the owner's expense, which would recognize the recommendations included in section 11 of the natural heritage evaluation prepared by Oak Ridge Environmental.
Thank you, Martina. Any questions or comments? None seen. One question I have, and I'm sure Martina, you know what it's going to be, is the location of the lot along Cooney Island Road. Was there any discussion about moving that lot to the corner rather than where it is? Because that's a field that's cultivatable by agriculture, and right now it's 4 turns for large machinery to have to maneuver around. If we were to put it to the corner, or if the applicant were to move it to the corner, that would make 6 turns. But the way it is right now, it means 8 turns, and that northeast corner of that field will almost be a waste of cultivatable, because farm machinery is so big these days. It's going to be difficult to maneuver in there, and I wonder if the applicants even considered that. Was there any discussion about that at all, or do we know how this will end up in the new official plan? Will it be agricultural zoning, prime agriculture? I wouldn't doubt it if it isn't going to be.
Yeah, so it is going to be prime, and it was discussed moving the lot. But if the lot were moved to the corner, there would be no safe entrances available because of new entrances that are being created adjacent to that. This committee had approved severances on the kitty corner almost for a gentleman over there not long ago, and he had entrance problems, which then created a bit of a compound effect for this lot creation, that they need to be moved further from the corner to have specific sight lines and availability. So that's why the lot is where it is.
Further to that, I viewed this location, and I would think that there was almost room for the second lot beside the first lot on Douro fourth line. Was that considered at all?
The applicants did not want to do that. They did not want the lots side by side, creating strip development.
However, there's already strip development across the road from it.
They didn't want to contribute any more to that. So they wanted more space for each of these lots, knowing that the farm parcel will never be further developed. These properties will have, you know, ample space and privacy going forward for the rest of their existence, we hope.
Okay. Okay, what's the position of the committee?
Yes, sir. Those are very good questions, Carl, and good answers.
Maybe I'll just, like that property, when I looked at that property, like there's a lot of hill in behind it. So as far as big machinery coming down over to the farmland from up above, like when you go up into their property, there's a lot of farming going on up behind there. So with that hill and the woods that runs along there, I'm not sure if that's really a biggest concern down on the bottom there.
Okay, anyone wish to proceed with a motion? Like motions, you have the opportunity to defer it for further study. You have the option of moving forward to recommend it or moving forward with not recommending it. So I leave it to, and don't let my questions influence what you feel personally. I've got tough skin here. You kind of get thick skin after a while on being on council, but I have no problem with what you wish to do.
Well, I'll look at that. I think that based on Martina's discussion and her answers to the questions that were asked, I think a lot of the things that already been looked at as far as moving the parcels to different positions and for site purposes for entrances. So I'm quite happy to make a motion that we continue with the application as stated with the recommendations given by council or by the team for this application.
Okay, is there a seconder for that motion? Jim Patterson? Any further comments or questions? All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. That completes our applications for today. And our next item on the agenda is our next meeting. It looks like Martina's been successful in not having a July meeting, which is good. At least we got a month off. And the next meeting proposed is August the 19th, a Friday at 9 o'clock, Martina.
9 o'clock, so long as we don't need to have a committee of adjustment. If we have to have a committee of adjustment, it'll be at 9 and this meeting will be at 9:30.
Okay. So, and you don't know for sure whether it's on yet, so you'll provide further input as we get closer to the date.
Definitely. By mid-July, I'll be able to give you a definitive as to whether the meetings will take place.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much, folks, and have a great summer. And hopefully you have good weather and you're able to get some R&R in. So
That would be good.
I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Jim Patterson, seconded by Wendy. All in favor? Okay, well, have a great summer. And thank you, Martina and Tana and Anu for your support. Thank you.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Have a
Keep
great
Bye,
being safe. Keep
Have a
safe.
good
Keep safe.
summer.